Welcome back, YouTube fans. This is my review of the Alteisen Super Robot Chogokin mech from Super Robot Wars. Now, this mech is one of my favorites. It's die-cast, so it's got metal here in the legs and chest section, and it's a pretty cool design. In the series, it's an experimental personal trooper with the serial number PTX-003C. It was meant to be the next evolution of the Gespid series of mechs, which only saw limited production in the prime timeline of Super Robot Wars. They were an attempt to make a mass production mech, but it never got off the ground. It was marred by political and other decisions that rendered it basically dead in the water, and was replaced with a more powerful and more Gundam-based personal trooper called the Chogokin. This mech, though, has metal, especially like this spear on its arm, which is part of its pile driver. It has a revolver barrel for it because it uses a gas cartridge to explosively launch this forward to impale its enemies in the game and in the anime it's based off. It has a triple-barreled gun here, though that's mainly just for mid-range fighting. It's mostly used to rush straight in using the very powerful thrusters it's got, which these ones all move around, and these shoulder flaps can be moved up and down, giving it a lot of play and posability options. It comes with a few additional option parts for it. It's also got a weapon on its forehead. The horn there is actually a superheated blade that can be used to basically headbutt and cut through enemy armor. And it comes with this flame effect, which is quite nice, I must say. The pile driver also has an effect for it punching straight through an enemy's hull, so it's got a lot of nice additions. It also has two wide open hands like this, but I don't use those as much because they get in the way of the pile driver. And it also has a stand part, though since this thing is die-cast, it's going to be quite heavy. So you're going to want to either use a stand with few joints in it or something that's pretty sturdy. Overall, it's a good design, and the Super Robot Chogokin series does use die-cast parts in many of them, and it has lots of other ones, from Super Robot Wars, a lot of the Mazinger series, and even the Zyuranger Daizuzin, which is better known as the Power Ranger Megazord from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Overall, though, this one's one of my favorites. The pilot, Kurosaki, enjoys bad odds, and this thing is nothing but bad odds because, like with the Talgis, its thrust and speed tends to hurt or injure the pilot severely. It also has these large bunkers in its shoulder that fire basically large numbers of small ball bearings at its enemies to basically pulverize at close range with numerous non-guided projectiles. This mech is basically a kinetic mech, as the series has both beam and kinetic shielding, but not both for the same targets. This unit is extremely useful against beam-shielded enemies or ones with abilities to reduce energy weapons. The one problem with those is that in the game, physical weapons are limited by ammunition, while beam energy is basically by their energy gauge. And you can upgrade those components to make them have more ammo or more energy, but moving also uses energy. A small amount, but when you're moving around on the field in the games, that can go through fairly quickly if it's also your weaponry. So it has advantages in the game. So it's one of those tropes where kinetic weapons are just better, is more of kinetic weapons have advantages over energy weapons. But by the same token, the energy weapons also work quite well. Either way, it's a cool mech, and if you ever have the chance to try Super Robot Wars, it's a really cool series that has its own original mechs, which is personified mainly in the OG Original Generation series. but its main series frequently has mechs from Gundam, all the different ones, including multiple ones at the same time. Martian successor Nadesco, Big O, Mazanger, Voltron's Japanese counterpart, Go Lion, Technoman, Blade, Detonator, Orgun, and various other ones. So it's a really cool series, and if you wish to try it, some of the newer ones for the PS4 have been translated in the Japanese version with English subtitles, so they can be brought over to the US wholesale. Overall, I think this mech's a great addition to anyone's collection, and with the big heavy metal feet here, it does not fall over easily. Another good thing about this is that because the legs are very thick, all the weight is down there. So its center of gravity is a lot lower. Anyone who's tried to pose figures will know things with big wings or other such can tend to fall over more. It's one reason why I want to see more die-cast-in figures, especially in their leg parts. It would make them a lot easier to pose and stand. At any rate, like, subscribe, and comment below, and share this video with your friends, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao!